Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And everyone always tells me the fullback is leaving the game. And then I say, hold on a second. What about Kyle Juszczyk? Two-time Pro Bowler, maybe the best all-around fullback in the game for his ability to block, catch, and occasionally run the football inside.
Check 55, Mike. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On second down, it's Coleman, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be a third and about 13. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. Scott, Mike, 50. One foot. Not today, you are. Not today.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Check right 54. Line 54. Ready? 12. 54. Hayward. 54. Let's go, team.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses. Without
a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Check right 27. Check right 27. Too little,
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Coleman. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Kevin Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Good job right there. Good job right there. 54 Mike. 54 Mike. Check.
Now Wilson on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Jaworski Tart came out of Samford University in Alabama. And he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Don't get nervous.
Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Here we go.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Double dog. That's the way.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. His throw incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw again. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it here with Hunt. And look at this. For the second straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Dancing to his... And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
We play to win. Let's go.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Garoppolo looks to throw, and that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
25.
On 2nd down now. It's Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
Buying time to his left. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. They'll find Miller. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
54.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Go. Banjo. Hey, one set. Check line 54. Line 54.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 25 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. And he finds Seals Jones complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver
and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help. And I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score. And sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else. And that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. Completes it to Coleman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants it.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
And that is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. They bring Rashawn Melvin on the corner blitz and he gets there. So we reach halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Carson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press block shaking every time he touches the rock.
He'll find Metcalf. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field.
Here we go.
While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A dump down to McKinnon, and they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing is Wilson, and that's complete to Brown. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check.
They run again with Hunt. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
They're going to need some therapy.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and
it'll be intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Play action, Garoppolo. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
McKinnon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
50 to mark. I'm coming.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. D Ford. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's a baby soft.
Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trailed big here to begin quarter number 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Wilson. He sets to fire deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo leads from McKinnon on the draw. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Let's get off the field, D.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance,
and they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked somewhere else, and maybe you try and find one of those.
And now look at him go. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers get a score closer. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it?
And that's caught inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd and a couple. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth. And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it? This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again. And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. It's caught. Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right? And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let them bleed the game out that way. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot. I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Here we go.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't. Work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
To throw again on second down. Garoppolo over the middle, and it's incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll return it from the 6. "35 yards on the return." Picked up some good blocks as well. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Taylor going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. 52 yards. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
There in coverage to knock it away, Marquise Blair.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.